Welcome to the OG community, where curiosity is encouraged and questions are explored. Here, we look at hidden history, symbolism, world events, and mysteries that make people stop and think. Every video is an opportunity to examine ideas from different perspectives and start conversations, well, frankly, many people are afraid to have. But you know what I say? Stay curious, stay aware, and always think for yourself. Now let's begin.
A security guard that was protecting Maduro has spoken, and you got to hear what he said. It's in Spanish, but I'll translate. Also, Trump announced that, the cartels, they're going after him in Mexico. The whole vibe of Latin America has changed because of what happened in Venezuela. And now that we're getting firsthand accounts from people that were there, the soldier says they didn't hear him coming. He says the Americans had technology superior to anything they've ever seen. Everything that they were using for radar, for anything, was completely taken offline. They had drones, and the drones were taking out bases and taking out things faster. They didn't have no technology. They've never had to fight against drones. He also talks about that there was only 8 helicopters. There was only 20 men that were sent in. And those 20 men killed hundreds of their men, and none of those soldiers were injured. He talks about it felt like they were firing 300 rounds a minute. Nothing they've ever seen, nothing that they can compete with. And then he also talks to the fact that the Americans had some kind of sonic shock boom that was sent out. And everybody immediately started bleeding profusely out of their nose. They couldn't even gather themselves because whatever was sent at them made them fall to their knees and vomit blood out of their mouth and out of their noses. They were incapacitated immediately. He says he never wants to go through that again. Doesn't want to have to fight with the Americans again.
I tell you, that's why we got the baddest military on the planet. We got some real high tech stuff. Glad to be an American.
And he's sending warnings to everybody out there that you think you can fight the Americans. You don't even know what their weaponry is like and what they're capable of. 20 men took out hundreds, and that's starting to spread all through Latin America. And now they're not saying, if you want me, come and get me anymore. They're like, oh shit. Especially after Trump says, hey, Mexico, you're on the list too.
Hola amigos, ¿cómo están? Escuchemos al líder del 23 de enero.
Esto es verdad, ¿oíste? Van a hacer todo eso, bueno, ¿qué más nos queda? Ya no tenemos opción, ¿no? Tienen más tecnología, mucho más armamento, no estamos preparados. Aquí hoy estaba la gente regresando los fusiles que se entregaron voluntariamente. La gente no quiere saber nada, la gente no quiere combatir, la gente no quiere, fue bastante feo lo que se vivió en Caracas. Fuimos neutralizados, toda la fuerza que teníamos para responder no funcionó. Ellos apagaron todo el sistema eléctrico, tumbaron los radares, tumbaron todos los islas, la gente tenía miedo.
So the soldier explains it kind of like a shockwave that went out, and immediately they all fell, blood out of the ear, nose, mouth. Once that happened, they were useless, is what he says. There was nothing we could do. We could not even think straight anymore. He blames the Americans for not fighting fair because he says they were shooting out of the helicopters. And before they even hit the ground, most of those people were incapacitated and could no longer fight back. They were just watching it all go down and couldn't do anything about it. China and Russia are getting called out in numerous songs that are being put out in Venezuela saying, I thought you guys were supposed to protect him. What happened? They're implying they tucked tail and ran. I've reposted several of them on my TikTok because it's good music, but it's hilarious.
Then I raised my staff and directed a ray of vibration, striking them still in their tracks as fragments of stone of the mountain. So he has a weapon that is non-lethal, but has the capability of reaching them via a frequency. It's a frequency weapon. And this frequency weapon freezes them in their tracks and stops them from coming to attack. Now that's pretty interesting. We're talking about 36,000 years ago. This guy's got a frequency beam weapon that can stop a gang of people from coming at him. Now, we were supposed to be literally just, living in caves, right? Just living in caves at that time, using chicken bones and copper chisels to do basic stuff, right? Making spears and trying to kill rabbits for dinner and all that kind of stuff. But then guess what? This guy comes with technology, crazy technology. Let's take a look at this and see if we have this kind of technology in modern times. It's called the active denial system, right? It penetrates the skin 1/64th of an inch, causing the feeling similar to being on fire. And they have different types of active denial system frequencies. It's a frequency weapon where they can make you feel like you want to vomit. They can make you feel ice cold. They can put voices in your head. They can make you feel like you're in pain. Right? All these different things they can do with the active denial system.
Most people in the West have no idea what this is, and we need to talk about it. This is the Vajra. It is the weapon of the gods, and we first see this in the Rig Veda. In the Rig Veda, Lord Indra uses this weapon to slay Vritra, a demon snake. Marduk from Babylon also uses this weapon. Zeus also uses this weapon. Tlaloc also has one of these, so does Raijin from Japan. Even Cybele is shown using one of these weapons. So why do we see this all across the world, and why are they always using lightning fighting demons? The most popular video on here is describing the technology in the Vedas, and that's what we will go back to. They were masters of vibration, physics. You see it all throughout their temples. You see frequency design in the stepwells, and the temples themselves are giant resonators. Even the particle accelerator at CERN matches almost exactly with the Delwara temple ceiling. Now you know why there's a Shiva statue outside of CERN. Back to the Vajra. Open Vajra, very dangerous weapon, always depicted as such. Closed Vajra contains the energy to be used within for meditation. Vajrayana Buddhism is focused around this. You should probably sit down. If we mirror the Mandelbrot fractal, you get the design of almost every Vajra you will see. If you just replace one side with the Mandelbrot fractal, it pretty much completes the design. Vajra is said to be as powerful as thunder. Resonating with the shape of an infinite fractal is a good place to start for that. The handle lines up with the first 3 bulbs of the Mandelbrot. Each break is characterized by a spiral design. If we go into any border on the Mandelbrot, what do we see? Spirals. Almost always the prongs on the Vajra are depicted with the dragon breathing fire. If we feather the tails on the fractal, that's what the white part is. We get something that looks like fire, lightning, plasma. So how does one turn these things on? I'm not going to tell you, or you're going to go to the dark side, and we're going to have to do battle. Even Elon Musk has one of these on his bedside table. It's quite the secret, and I'm not in the business of giving the nuclear launch codes to children. I'm kidding, because you can't even use it. Here's why. Each one of these weapons is activated by frequency, like Excalibur or Thor's hammer. If you do not have the frequency to match the weapon, it won't work. Eastern medicine uses the frequencies of the body every day, and we know the frequencies of the mind. We can read those. The whole point of chakra science is to sync these up so that your frequency is coherent. This requires mastering the base desires and cultivating the mind. But the failsafe is the heart. The heart is the driver of life. It has its own frequency. If your heart's not in the right place, all of the cool stuff in the higher dimensions is denied to you. If all your frequencies are chaotic, that signal is neutral. If they are aligned, it's amplified. That's how waves work. These artifacts come from a time when this wasn't technology, this was technology. But today, we're too busy arguing who did it first and who gets the credit instead of matching up these simple patterns and figuring it out. Video covers 4 pages of my new book. It comes out Monday. It is a sequel to Codex Esoterica, and it's a part of my series on esoteric education. This one's still my most useful book. It's a self-help book. It shows you how to use all this. If you haven't read any, I'm having a bundle sale right now until Monday. You can go there and find it, or you can just go to the link in my bio, and it'll take you to all the stuff I have, even the physical copies, and those are on Amazon.
Ghost X is the drone that's watching, so just watch for a moment. So the blue force is my friendlies. So see that little right-hand corner where it sees behind the containers?
Uh-huh.
They're tracking where the bad guy is. They're tracking where my guys are. And then watch when they go behind the container. So I can actually see through it and watch. Now they're engaging the guy over there, and he's down.
Wow.
Imagine a guy's coming over a hill, and I want to engage him. So actually, I'm going to put on the mission shield. There we go. So This is a system that allows everybody to basically be operating as one combined hive mind, where you can all share a view of the world. And by the way, this view that I have, it's shared now with all of the robots as well. So anything I see, like let's see I see someone inside of a building, every drone and every person now sees that person where he is. It's so crazy that I was born at the right time to actually get to build all of this stuff.
Did you guys hear about the memo the United States Postal Service just put out, which has many people wondering, although Twitter says that it is routine, but many people are concerned. Do they know something is coming? Listen to this. United States Postal Service sends alarming letter out to certain employees, or maybe just officers, contractors. This signals an impending crisis of civil unrest or an epidemic. I don't think epidemic, but if you read the first sentence, it says, during large-scale emergencies, epidemics, hurricanes, or civil unrest, states and localities may issue curfew orders or other directives. It goes on to say that this will restrict travel, so you need to carry your documents on you that prove you are an essential worker, essential service. Now, of course, this literally could be routine, like hurricanes do happen, like epidemics happen, civil unrest definitely happens. I'm wondering if this has anything to do with the ICE thing going on. But here's the crazy part. The community notes on Twitter says that this is completely routine and this happens all the time. But many, many people work at USPS and say, well, I've never really seen a letter like this since Schmovid-19. And we also have Tim Waltz saying that we should do something about ICE, which is insane. Not saying I agree or disagree, but to have a member of the government telling people to do something against other entities within the government is very strange. So is the stage set? Is it a powder keg waiting to go? So then it says, employees and contractors should carry essential services letters with them as they perform duties for the Postal Service and travel to and from work. So it's not just when they're in the USPS truck. Everyone knows that guy is an essential service. But if you're in a car driving to your USPS station to meet the postmaster, you got to have your papers on you to show, no, I'm allowed to be driving if there's a curfew or a lockdown. So this is freaking shocking, man. All I know is there's a lot of things happening at the same time right now. And I do think we are in pretty much prophesized times. Like this was said to happen. What's happening all around the world. Look around. Do you think that the world is under the control of forces of good right now or forces of evil? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more. Now, if you made it this far, I should say...
Wow, look at this. Oof.
Alexa, how many days until Halloween 2026?
Halloween in 2026 is 301 days away, on Saturday, October 31st.
Alexa, how many days until Thanksgiving 2026?
Thanksgiving Day in 2026 is 327 days away, on Thursday, November 26th.
Alexa, how many days until Christmas in 2026?
There aren't any Christmas holidays in 2026.
Alexa, how many days until Halloween 2026?
Halloween in 2026 is 301 days away.
Alexa, why is there no Christmas in 2026?
There aren't any Christmas holidays in 2026.
Alexa, why are there no Christmases holidays in 2026?
There are multiple school districts in your country with school holiday dates that vary. Which school district are you interested in? For example, you can ask
Alexa.
OG community, why isn't Alexa giving her answer? Why isn't there a Christmas in 2026? From what Alexa says, allegedly. Hey, somebody in the community, is there something going down that we should all know about? Please let us know.
Alexa, when are the next school
Alexa, why are there no Christmas holidays in 2026?
There are multiple school districts in your country with school.
Well, apparently it's not going to tell us. Alexa, how many days until Thanksgiving 2026?
Thanksgiving Day in 2026 is 325 days away, on Thursday, November 26th.
Alexa, how many days until Christmas 2026?
There aren't any Christmas holidays in 2026.
So it doesn't really seem like it matters if you say Christmas in 2026 or Christmas 2026. When you ask how many days, that's the response it gives you. It doesn't do this for any other holiday. Alexa, how many days until Easter 2026?
Easter Sunday in 2026 is 90 days away, on Sunday, April 5th.
There you go. I don't know.
You're an American and you have an international trip coming up, you need to see this because supposedly, allegedly, they are canceling people's passports. And this is one of those things that can ruin your life in real time. There are people that have went on vacation, landed in another country, got off the plane, and then were told their passports were canceled. Not by them. They didn't report it. They didn't lose it. They were told it was marked as lost or stolen. Now, mind you, when you check into the airport in the United States, they're letting you check in. They're letting you get on these international flights. Everything is fine. Mind you, when you land in another country, they're saying that it's an alert on your passport. Now, if you go down the rabbit hole of passport not lost or stolen TikTok, you will see that there are numerous people saying this. So why are people's passports being reported stolen? A man said that he was deported from Thailand. A woman said that she went to Rome and almost couldn't get back to the United States. If she didn't have all of her information, birth certificate, ID, passport, social security card, she would have been a Rome citizen. Now you gotta ask yourself, why are they randomly canceling people's passports? Now you gotta remember this, a lot of people said that they wanted to leave the United States because of things that's going on. They are willing to move out of the United States where they were born and raised because all of these things are going on. I need you to keep that in mind. And now randomly, they're canceling people's passports. Also, people are saying that they've been detained, sent straight back, or forced to rush to the U.S. Embassy to drop off $300 for an emergency passport on the spot. That's panic money. Right now, there's only one thing that you can actually do. Call the National Passport Information Center, have your passport with you, tell them you're calling to confirm whether your passport is valid or flagged, or lost, or stolen. This is where we're at right now. So if you're traveling, please don't ignore this. I'm out.
Hello, I've been walking for 20 minutes in the worst snowstorm of my life, but I have a better question. Why the fuck is the sky pink? Bro, if I didn't have the video, no one would believe me.
We have this storm moving through here, and last night, actually all of yesterday, the storm that was moving through the central U.S., the tower activity was pretty darn suspicious. We had so much of that rippled radar. Today, I'm not really seeing that entering Louisiana and, over to Alabama and Georgia, but I am seeing a crazy amount of trails. And I wish I could say this is abnormal, but lately it has certainly not been abnormal. We have plenty coming through the Gulf, so many moving in through Georgia and Florida, South Carolina, North Carolina. I mean, look at this. This is absolutely disgusting. And on this platform, the resolution isn't the best, but you can go to my website and see it a little bit better. I just finished the show. I should be posting it soon. But the colors you see here indicate the altitude of the different cloud layers. And so as you can see, trails are typically left in high altitude areas. But as they drop in altitude and spread out, they enter this red area. But yeah, this whole area is completely loaded with trails. The storm over here is loaded with trails. And up here in New England is absolutely loaded with trails. You can really see them on the outskirts where there isn't a whole lot of different layers of clouds blocking your view. See, like right here. And yeah, as usual here on the West Coast, you guys have so many trails coming in off the Pacific. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, look at it from this side. My goodness. Look at all that. And Canada is getting some of that too. All right, anyway, I just wanted to catch you guys up here on Instagram. Hope you have a good day, and I'll see you on my website, arenamasters.com. Bye.
Did you guys hear what Trump just said at the White House with business leaders? Some people wonder if he said the quiet part out loud or if there's something more to this. Check this out.
So we're into 6G now. I just 5G. I was a leader on 5G, getting that done. And now they're up to 6. Let's do it again. What does that do? Give you a little bit deeper view into somebody's skin? See how I get it? I like the cameras the old days. So they just had a nice feature. Now they cover every little. Let's see, Michael, you're in good shape. But I tell you, it's the 6 is coming, huh?
Now, many people think he was just kind of joking around or making a little bit of a harmless, funny thing. But are you aware of what Xfinity just announced their new feature on their Wi-Fi routers are? That they can detect movement between your Wi-Fi router and other Wi-Fi devices like a smart thermostat. So this is the going theory, okay? There is a front end and a back end to Wi-Fi. The front end is what we use to have internet on our phones, although I don't use Wi-Fi. My phone right now is plugged in to this cable, which gives it internet through Ethernet. And then it's literally on airplane mode as I'm recording this. Then I plug it back into that, plug it into the Ethernet, and boom, I got internet on my phone without Wi-Fi. I do not have the Wi-Fi on in my home ever. And it's not just because tracking, it's also, I'm not a fan of the frequencies that are emitted from all these wireless devices that we're cramming inside of our homes. Our smart fridges, smart freaking toilets, thermostats, lights, Wi-Fi, new appliances, dishwashers. Your freaking laundry machine does not need to emit frequencies for it to function. It's all this extra features. You can press a button on your phone and see how long until it's done. But now, the going theory or a rumor is, and there may be fully confirmed articles of this, that your movements, think of sonar. It beams out a frequency, and whatever bounces off of that beam in the water, it paints back a picture to the hub of what is going on in the water, what shapes and sounds and all that. Wi-Fi is beaming a frequency. It's not too crazy to think walking through the frequency of Wi-Fi is disturbing its signal, which can then be interpreted by the router and AI as what's going on. A picture, some people say they can tell your heartbeat, what part of the house you're in. Like, I'm not saying that's true, so don't get me, I'm just saying the possibilities of this do extend extensively. Now, what is 6G? And would it penetrate into our skin? Of course, they'll say it's non-ionizing and it's totally safe. And I'm not saying it's not safe. It's probably perfectly safe. But will there be another angle to it?
They might got a point. And Trump, he always be saying little nuggets that people try to not pay attention to, but he be on the money with some stuff. I don't agree with everything he say, but if you low-key listen to him, he'll tell you some things. Whether you believe it or not, he's telling you the truth.
And another use for it. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below and follow for more.
This is weird. this room that I made. It's a Faraday room. It's blocking all kinds of frequencies or whatever. I'm not wearing a tinfoil hat, but I'm pretty much in a tinfoil room, okay? I'm one of those weirdos. But I will let you know that while I was working on these chords, I was just sitting here, meditative, chilling. People that I haven't thought about for years started coming to me. And I was like thinking about these happy, wonderful thoughts. And then I opened the door and I went outside the room, which isn't Faraday at all. It's just a regular, whatever, house. And all of a sudden this thought came to me out of nowhere. PORN. I was like, you want me to think about that? And I thought about it for a second. I go, wait a minute, where did that even come from? We're getting zapped with frequencies that are controlling our thoughts. This is how you get away from it right here.
Oh, ready? Okay, go to Chamberlain Heights.
Google?
Yep, Chamberlain Heights, Kobe. Because they tell you first. It's right there. Okay, watch. Oh, there's a hell. Oh.
It's Kobe Bryant. Help me. Just pass me the trophies and we'll pull you out. Pass.
You see?
You're shitting me.
No, you never saw this.
No, you're shitting me.
No, get ready for this. Go look what season and episode it was.
Wait a minute. So, 5 rings, right?
Yeah. So everybody
He's got 5 rings.
Yeah, 5
3
rings.
and 2.
Yeah. You want to see another one where they tell you first?
Yes, let's go.
Kobe Bryant, Bette Midler show. Get ready for this one, guys. Yes. Okay. Oh my God. Season 1, episode 8. Oh my, that I did not know. That I did not know. My gosh.
Okay.
Okay, fast forward.
What we're watching.
Keep right there. Listen to the score. Play.
The Lakers 126-75. No word yet on.
Did you hear it?
126. He died January 26th.
Now, you ready to really go crazy? Go to the Gematrinator.
Okay.
Let's just do Gianna Bryant. Get out of the way. I showed you this one. Gianna.
126.
Date of the crash, 126. Okay? Now do Kobe Bryant.
113.
113. And how old was he when he died? Fake died? 41. Now put his middle name, Bean.
Like that?
Kobe Bean. Keep going. Right. What number do you see at the end?
81.
He scored 81 points, right? Now, ready for this? Let's go to the street he was killed on. What number do you see?
81.
I need y'all to plug in and listen. I just found something, you guys. When it comes to code breaking, I see patterns. I'm noticing this is a 1 year, and I'm like, this morning I was like, it's weird that Trump was president during the last 1 year, right? Which was 2017, and this 1 year. And I'm like, they're trying to seed something in the field. I see a pattern. I'm gonna tell y'all something. I've gotten messages before that sound crazy, that our history is actually only less than 100 years old. That everything is orchestrated to make us think it goes back further, but it's only less than 100 years old. And I haven't said this publicly outside of my community, but I felt something like this, right? So then I'm like, okay, when were the other 1 years? I'm looking at it, 2008, right? 1999, 1981. And if you're not tracking these days, these years, the numbers all reduce down to 1, okay? I'm looking at it, and then I see something. 1945. Ha! What happened in 1945, you guys? What happened in 1945, right? 2 atomic bombs were dropped. And yesterday, everything that my crazy ass was seeing was saying that was a reset, right? And I've been seeing that for a while. Something's been telling me that those bombs were about a timeline reset. And I believe about a timeline merge. Doing something, right? Okay. But you guys, that's not the part that freaked me out. The part that freaked me out was that's 9-year cycles, 81 years. 81 years, you guys. That's clearly what's happening right now. We're not just...
Is anybody picking up what she putting down? I don't know how much stock I put into her. Hey, I'm not here to judge. Just here to listen. But I tell you, sometimes the screws broke off.
Just talking about a 1 year. We're talking about the beginning of an 81-year cycle. This is a reset they're trying to push for, and they're doing it through us. They're doing it through us. So those of us who are in my community, if you're seeing this, get your behind in that Zoom. We need to talk. And those of you who are not in community, just think, you guys. See what's happening. See what they're trying to manifest through us. And don't let it happen. Build a wall of coherence and love. I trace this back 81-year cycles. There's normally either a war, a major war, or a major resolution of something. I don't know if you guys will understand how significant this is. They tell us, don't look at the stars. They tell us, don't notice a pattern, you're a conspiracy. While they're absolutely using the energy of everything to further their evil plans. And some of you guys like to play dumb and say, who's they? You know exactly who they is, so stop playing dumb. My mind is blown right now because I felt this. I made a video last year, you guys, talking about the time loop that we were stuck in. And people mocked me and said I was schizophrenic and da-da-da-da, right? Signals, you guys. They tell you this is a spiritual war. It's not a spiritual war. It's a signal war. They're hitting us with signals. They're manipulating us with signals.
The most important post I will ever put on TikTok. And let me start by saying I absolutely love my life and love you guys and would never do anything to put my life in jeopardy. Because what I'm about to say, it is not theory. It's exactly what's been going on and how everything's being controlled. And these guys, they figured it out. So I'm going to read for a script so I don't slip up and get flagged. Mirror logic and feedback scripting. They don't just track you, they loop you. They don't force you, they reflect you. And you react to yourself. Targeted, right? The system is simple. Everyone thinks it's some crazy nanobot tech or black budget satellite system. But I found the ticket. It's not. The real mechanism is so much more simpler, and that's what makes it so much more dangerous, guys. Here's the secret. They use towers to listen to the emotional state of the environment. They scan for resonance, patterns, speech, tones, and keywords. They then mirror back a modified loop of that energy using phase-adjusted...
Am I the only one thinking, why did he got these tattoos on his face? What are these tattoos on his face? Come on, dude.
Signals and scripted feedback tones. And people start acting like the field around them, not knowing that the field was deliberately altered. Who did it? We know who did it. The same ones building predictive systems for governments. The same ones offering crisis simulation AI. But in reality, they're running real-time behavioral experiments on entire populations. They scan the same feedback system used to train a chatbot is now being used to train entire cities. Using extremely basic parts. Yagi-style antennas for tight directional beams, SDR radios for adaptive scanning, field microphoning capturing tone and not content, local signal repeater arrays for pushing the loop back out, predictive algorithms for choosing what loop to return. It's not hard to build if you understand scalar logic, guys. The feedback loop isn't just tech, it's psychological scripting. It's training you by reflecting your own distorted signal back at you. No physical force, just signal. No trace, just confusion. And if you say something about it, you sound crazy because you're reacting to a loop that no one else sees, right? So guys, I'll be breaking down every component on the towers, how they're used, how they're on every single one, right? And how these guys are all connected to it. Guys, again, I love my life. I'll never do anything to put it in jeopardy. Please help me push this to the moon and help me, protect me at all costs, guys. I love you.
On the record talking about, quote, non-human life forms that could be interdimensional beings who are visiting us. Can you just explain more to people at home what that might mean?
Yeah, so that's definitely a mouthful, but that is directly based on information that we've received from witnesses, also information that we have obtained and witnessed via our investigations. There's some stuff that I can't disclose of what I have immediately seen in some of these skiffs, but what I will tell you is this is not just some crazy conspiracy theory. Obviously, there's been massive reporting, not just in the United States, but around the world. And this is something that I think everyone kind of, has always had some curiosity about. We're just simply asking the questions now publicly.
When we were talking to some of the witnesses, they don't call them extraterrestrial. They call them interdimensional.
There's also this aspect of these things defying physics as we
got videos on here of people ripping off their face, right? And then showing that they aliens, right? And then when you look at the bottom, it will tell you that it's AI generated. And if we being honest, I don't think none of that stuff is AI generated. It don't even look AI generated. It look real. It look real. It look real.
So he probably think they pulling off one of those things where they put it in your face, make it seem like a joke, but in reality, they give you the truth. They do that every day to us. We the ones got to decipher the information, pay attention, and know what's real and what's fake.
Are these aliens trying to tell us something? Well, show us something, and then lie to us and say that it's fake? I don't think we that stupid.
I believe that two different conspiracies, which I don't believe are.
Hold up. Wait a minute. OG community, let me know. Do y'all think the alien faces were fake or real? Give me your opinion. They got some good fakes out here. But then again, question everything.
Conspiracies blend together and that they are told to us in the Bible. If you are easily offended, this is not the video for you. We are called to be wise as serpents and gentle as doves. Proverbs 30 says the lizard you can take in your hands, yet it is in kings' palaces. Why would David say this? I think I know why. Reptilian overlords. And I understand that that sounds absolutely bonkers if this is a new idea to you.
There's still kind of a reptilian side of our brain.
So every single culture ever has pictures drawn, painted, and writings that include shape-shifting reptilians. So we're going to take it back from the beginning, but I want you to remember that Satan appears as an angel of light. How would Satan appear that way? Because he can shapeshift, maybe?
I don't need to debate any Christian. I was a Christian. I am a Muslim. If you want, I can give you both sides, easy. But he will ask you if you delivered the message. I'll play both parts. I'll be the Christian and tell you this, and then I'll be the Muslim and give the answer.
Genesis 3, the serpent was very crafty and he deceived Eve. Eve was living with God, who is the source of all intelligence. I have a really hard time believing that Eve would be speaking to a snake on the ground or some kind of like actual dragon or anything that looked like something that she would know better. I believe that this is the first occurrence of a shape-shifting reptilian.
I worked for UNICEF, which is an amazing organization that works in over 150 countries, and my job was to meet with teenagers who were living in exclusion, who were living in extreme poverty or living with HIV, and write their stories.
So you saw the eyes, but the face? I believe that the conspiracy theorists have always been right. It's liquid crystal. It's how they disguise themselves. I know I sound crazy, but I do truly believe that this is the truth, and the truth is stranger than fiction. Monitor lizards have a similar thing that they do with something that's very similar to the concept of liquid crystal. Kenneth Copeland is highly obvious. Look at the eye shape. Look at how he is. This is a reptilian. But most...
Definitely look at the eyes. That is weird. Look at his eyes, community. That is crazy. Good Lord. They everywhere. Stay safe.
People are already showing that they would not recognize a snake if it looked like an angel of light with Christian theology.
I'm here to say welcome to the spiritual war. If you're not aware of it, put on the armor, stand your post, you're a woman of the word.
Watch the eyes and the teeth. the eyes are shifting to reptile eyes and the teeth are sharp and reptilian. I'm not saying this to be a bully. I think that she's very obviously beautiful, but I do not think that this situation is at all what we think it is. Jesus already destroyed all of these beings on the cross, but now it's up to us to not follow them when they appear on TV or social media.
If this video made you expand your horizons to see something from a new perspective, make sure to subscribe and join the community. This channel is all about exploring ideas, asking questions, and looking deeper at the stories behind history, culture, and the world around us. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I read them all. And remember, question everything. The truth is worth exploring.